Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chris, and in today's video we're going to be making a pair of wooden sunglasses. These sunglasses are made out of 3 layers of wood. I have 2 layers of cherry and 1 layer is a veneer of skateboards. These skateboard blanks were sent to me by my buddy Ben at Will Be Design, and I'll tag him below. These sunglasses had a lot of interesting challenges, but overall they're pretty simple to make. So hopefully they inspire you, and hopefully you guys want to make your own. The first thing that we got to do is take our veneers and drum sand them down to about 1/10 of an inch. From there, we'll take the 3 veneers and we will glue them up with polyurethane glue. I use Tight Bond. Any polyurethane glue would work just fine for any laminated work like this. I put some blue tape on them to keep them from moving around, but that polyurethane glue will keep them from sitting back near as much. Sounds good and solid, but we're gonna go ahead and let that sit. The edges are just a little sticky, but that's okay. And let's not forget to glue another blank for earpieces, which are about the same amount of bend. I use the same form, and once I got it finished up, they actually felt perfect. From there, I just grabbed an older pair of sunglasses that were the style that I was going for, and I just traced them right down onto it. Knowing that those are comfy, they fit good on my head, I knew that if I got as close to that shape as possible, that they'd be as comfy as the originals. Now, to remove all the waste, I really didn't have a good way to do this, so I just plugged a bunch of holes with my drill press. Pretty. I think they might need an orthodontist. It's no big deal. I have a drum sander attachment for my drill press, so I'll make quick work of this. Now I very carefully take these to my bandsaw and I will cut somewhat close to the line, but you can see I got a pretty wide blade on there. It's not exactly a scrolling blade, but it worked just fine. It got me close enough to sand to my line, which I probably would want to do no matter what. And with a piece that's not flat like these bent laminated sunglasses, you want to kind of keep the piece, when it gets close to the blade, as close to flat as possible. It's not exactly difficult to do, but it's just a good safe measure. You want to keep it really flat, otherwise it'll chatter and bounce. So just keep that in mind when cutting these. Back to the drill press to sand the outside, and we're going to be able to sand right to our line, aside from the tight little spots where your nose would go, but I'll come and file those. Of course, I didn't record that on camera, so don't even look forward to it. It's not there. Now this is the fun part. I'm using a Dremel with a very small sanding attachment, and I'm really sneaking up on my line. And the whole purpose here is that I can kind of keep coming up to my line, I'm holding the lens up to it, and keep on getting closer and closer, because you do not want to go past that, because then you'll get that little light gap on the outside of the lens. You definitely want that. They won't look correct. And even more fun still is using this teeny tiny saw blade on the end of my Dremel to cut out the groove that holds the lens. This is the part that I was so nervous about, but it actually went really well. And you can see I keep moving my hands to kind of make sure that I don't have the blade kick back and hit me, and I actually had no trouble whatsoever doing this. And the arbor on this little tiny blade makes it to where I actually couldn't even cut too deep to go through. It actually was a very fun process. once I got it where I thought the lenses would be able to pop in and I had just the right amount of reveal, I took this sanding disc that kind of has a little bit of an angle to it, so it kind of eased the edge where I could pop those lenses in, and with a little bit of effort and a little bit of finagling with it, I was able to get the lenses popped in. There you have it, lenses are in, no gaps, exactly what I was looking for. I was so excited to get to this point that I did not take them out. I finished the rest of the project with the in and just was very careful. If you remember at the beginning of the video where I took the blank out that was going to be earpieces, I completely forgot to record cutting them out, so I apologize for that. But here they are. I am drilling out a small little mortise, and this is where the hinges are going to go and actually kind of sink in a little bit, and that way they kind of have a good mechanical fit. And if you thought I was going to be using screws to hold these in, well, that's what an intelligent person would do. I used super glue, which actually held really well, but I should have gone back and used screws. But here's the thing, with everything going on in the world, Amazon is taking forever to ship things. I ordered them and I never got them in. I'm still waiting, and it's been weeks. So, you know, which weeks in 2021 is like years. So anyway, I glued them in and they held pretty strong, but if you wait till the very end of the video after the outro, you'll see exactly what happens. And I don't know why, but this teeny tiny screw with these eyeglass flathead screwdriver, it is just the most satisfying thing, even though I look like a giant gorilla trying to screw this in. Anyway, back to the build. I actually used the hinges that were attached to the earpieces to kind of roughly mark where the mortise should sit, and then after the fact I kind of take my layout tools and I try to make sure they're even on both sides, and I mark my mortise from there and I go back to the drill press. And yes, more super glue and more activator because I didn't learn my lesson from the first time. Don't worry, hang in there. Wait till the end of the video. You'll see I learned my lesson. And in case I didn't tell you to like and subscribe, like and subscribe. I wasn't kidding when I said I wasn't going to take the lens out. I just taped them off because somehow in my messed up head, I thought that was going to be easier. Anyway, I taped them off and I use a water-based polyurethane because water-based doesn't yellow, and I wanted the brightest color out of the skateboard blank, and once it dries, I think I really achieved it. So I'll show the finished shots in just a second. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll keep on making interesting stuff just like these. So we'll see you on the next one.